Welcome to Good Morning Central Oregon. We have Jen Lair with Wild Birds Unlimited, which is a gorgeous bird store in Bend. You guys have so much great selection, and you came on the show today to talk particularly about hummingbird season.
I did. It's a great time of year for hummingbirds because there's lots of them out there. They're really visible. They're really fun to watch. And we, at our store, our motto is to bring people and nature together. Best place to do that is right in your backyard. So with hummingbirds, they're super active, really acrobatic. It's a great way to attract them to your yard is to, first of all, plant some native plants.
Okay.
So any like penstemon, scarlet gilia, any of the plants that kind of have a long tubular flower are going to attract hummingbirds in. But then the other thing you can do is put out a feeder. And the advantage of a feeder is it just gives them a concentrated source of energy.
Yeah.
There's lots of feeders out on the market. The ones we love are this type. They're easy to fill, easy to clean, and it's easy to see the birds on them.
Great. Is red kind of a typical thing? I feel like red is a popular, and maybe like bits of yellow?
Yeah, red's kind of the traditional color for hummingbirds. A lot of the hummingbird flowers are red, but hummingbirds are really attracted to any bright color, and actually feeders don't even have to be red. With the yellow, you don't necessarily want yellow on your feeder because that attracts bees.
Ooh,
so
good
sometimes
to
you see them
know.
with little yellow flowers. It looks pretty, but it's actually going to cause you some trouble.
Okay, what do hummingbirds like to drink?
So hummingbirds drink nectar, which is really just sugar water.
Okay.
It's 1 part sugar to 4 parts water. You can make it yourself at home. We also have mixes at the store. And all it is giving them a quick boost of energy. They're also eating bugs. They're also eating other things in the wild. So you don't have to worry about nutrients and stuff like that. Okay. This is just kind of like extra energy to get them through the day.
Okay, so how do we administer or make this work?
So they're super easy to fill. You just lift off the lid and you fill them. A lot of the ones you probably grew up with have bottles on the top.
Yeah.
They're tough to clean. They always drip.
Okay.
And so these are just much easier to use. I like to make my nectar up ahead of time, keep it in the fridge.
Oh.
Because then you can just pull it out when it's time, just bring your feeder in, give it a quick wash to keep it nice and clean.
You brought some nectar though here that you sell at the store. How is that different than what you might make at home?
All this is regular cane sugar like we recommend at home, but they've added a little bit of copper. And what that does is it keeps the bacteria and the mold from growing. It just kind of inhibits it. But it's actually healthy for the birds. It's the same level you would add to vitamins.
Because you have to clean this pretty often.
You do. In the weather like we've had lately, you should be changing it every 2 to 3 days.
Wow, because it's warm.
Because it's
sugar water.
It's just sugar water out there, exactly. When it cools off, you can go 3, 4, 5 days. But with this, you can easily go a week, even longer.
Now, where do you hang these?
Anywhere in your yard. Hummingbirds are super bold. They'll investigate anything, and they're looking for bright colors.
Okay.
So if you put it near flowers, they'll find it quicker, but you can hang it on your porch. You can hang it right outside your window. It's amazing. They'll come really close to you.
And you said that, are they kind of territorial? Did I hear that?
They can be. Our western hummingbirds especially can be a little bit sassy. So you won't see a ton of them sitting around here sharing. There'll be one that'll be trying to keep it for himself. Okay. So if you have a lot of hummingbirds, we actually recommend get a couple smaller hummingbird feeders and spread them out in your yard.
Oh.
Because then you'll get more hummingbirds. They, can kind of have their own little space.
Great.
And you'll see more action.
So it's hummingbird season right now, but what about other birds? I mean, what kind of season, and maybe how can I have the best yard to have birds in my near my house all year long?
Well, there are birds in Central Oregon all year round. They kind of change through the seasons based on what they do, but we have a lot of birds that live here year round. And so the best thing you can always do is have a habitat in your backyard. You want to have trees, bushes, things for them to hide in, and you can feed seed, suet. There's all sorts of different foods for different type of birds.
Which sounds like, thank goodness you know all of that information. And you brought some other fun things to kind of showcase just what Wild Birds Unlimited has to offer. But you're the expert, Jen, and we sure appreciate you being here, showing us how to attract some beautiful hummingbirds this season and to get other birds in our yards.
Definitely.
Okay, go see Jen, obviously, if you're more curious about this type of topic, because it'll be so much fun to have birds visit your house. Okay, thanks, Jen, for being here.
Thanks so much.
And we'll be right back.